So I know in your guys' class council meetings that you guys have been talking about character words and different things that you can do to be good to your friends. Can anybody tell me what one of those words are? Kindness. And that is the one that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about kindness. Can anyone explain to me what kindness is?
Be nice.
Being nice.
Say I love you.
I love you. That is very kind.
Being good.
Being good. Those are very good things. That's exactly what it means to be kind.
And helping them with their hurt.
Okay, one more hand. Okay, so I'm going to read you a book today, and then I'm going to have you do a lesson. So while I'm reading the book, I want you guys to think about what happens at the beginning of the book, what happens at the middle of the book, and what happens at the end of the book. And think about our characters, and if they're being kind, think about what it means to be kind, and if our characters are doing that. So I'm going to read you the Sneetches today by Dr. Seuss.
Can we put our thumbs up or down?
What'd you say, Lily?
Can we put our thumbs up or down?
Put your thumbs up or down.
At the store. If don't being good or bad.
Oh, if you see kindness, you can do a thumbs up. Okay?
You see it bad, put your thumbs down. But if you see like almost not kind, you can do it sideways.
Okay, but we're gonna do it quietly. Okay, we're not gonna say anything out loud unless Miss McAfee asks a question. Okay, I'm gonna read the book. Now the star-bellied Sneetches had bellies with stars, and the plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small, you might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort, and they'd have nothing to do with the plain-bellied sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star-bellied children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? No, not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-bellied children had none upon theirs. When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches, and they kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems, while the plain-bellied Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. Pretty strange car.
What is that?
Well, we'll find out. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy. But I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, "You want stars like a star-bellied Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burped, and it bopped them about, but the thing really worked. When the plain-bellied Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start, "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "if which kind is what, or the other way round?" McBean with a very sly wink. And he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who. That is perfectly true. But come with me, friend. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 each." "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine worked very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. "We know who is who. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are the Sneetches without." Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things really got into a horrible mess. Okay, well, Dr. Seuss just told us something. It's going to be a horrible mess. Can anyone predict what our mess is going to be?
Because then they won't know which one's which.
Oh, they're not going to know which one is which?
They're gonna have a fight because each one of them don't have stars.
You think there's going to be a fight?
They took off the stars from the belly, but then they won't fight because they're all the same.
Oh, so they're all going to be the same? They're going to take all the stars off?
Yeah.
Did you forget? Last one. Easy.
They were being nice to the ones that just got their stars taken off because the others didn't want them to be the same.
They're going to get mad at the ones that had their stars taken off? Well, let's find out what happened. Oh, that does look like a mess. All the rest of that day on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced round and about again. Changing their stars every minute or two, they kept paying money. They kept running through until neither the plane nor the star bellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. "They never will learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch."
The Sneetch should give their money back.
But McBean was quite wrong. I'm happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. I see a lot of thumbs up. Okay, raise your hand if you can tell me something that you saw in the book that was kind. They didn't care anymore, and they all became friends at the end. That was very kind. What did you see in the book that was kind?
They become friends at the end.
Mm-hmm. They did become friends at the end. They were going round and around because they thought it was fun. They were trying to get their stars and off and on and on and on. became friends at the end, and that was very kind. But there were times in the book where they weren't very kind, were there? Can anyone tell me, raise your hand, if you can tell me why it's important that we're so kind to each other? We'll get in a big fight like they did. That's a good reason to be kind.
Because we want to play.
Because you want to play with each other. And no one's going to want to play with you if you're not kind to them, right? Yeah. I'm not teacher, and you need to sit on your phone. Why is it important that we're kind to each other?
So we don't
So we don't push and shove and hit people, because that's not very kind. And people aren't going to like us if we push and shove, huh? Okay,
So
last
one.
Yeah, last one.
So they want to be your friends still.
Yeah. You guys gave me a lot of good reasons that we should be kind to each other. Okay, now I asked you at the beginning, before I read the book, to think about what happened at the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So I have this that we're going to work on today. So you guys are going to go over to your table in just a minute, and I want you to draw a picture or write what happened in the beginning of the book, what happened in the middle of the book, and what happened in the end. And you're going to write your name and the title. And I'll write the title up on the board so you guys can copy the title, okay? So go ahead and move quietly to your seats.